Let's do a way too early 53-man roster prediction for the Chicago Bears. So what is going on, yo? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. And yeah, man, we're still a little ways away from the season starting. But honestly, folks, with the draft over, with free agency long gone, like the roster's pretty much set at this point. Yeah, we can make some late additions, maybe before the start of the season, and of course training camp still has to come. But let me just take my first stab at, predicting the 53-man final roster. So that's what I'm going to do here. So we're going to go through position by position, and I'm going to show you, again, at the end, the entire 53-man list. Tell me if you guys agree or disagree with me, and we'll go from there. All right, so here we go, starting with the quarterback. I got Caleb, Tyson Bagent, and Brett Rippon. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not too happy with the backup group just because of the lack of experience. I wish we signed a veteran quarterback, a more polished one like a Ryan Tannehill or somebody like that. But hey, if Caleb doesn't get hurt the entire season, that's the goal, right? And I'm all for it. So Caleb playing 17 games is really the goal here because when he's healthy, he is the starter. But it would have been nice to just have a capable veteran backup to feel good about if Caleb somehow goes down for a few games or whatnot. I hope that doesn't happen, but you get my point. And again, I don't hate Tyson Bagent. Tyson Bagent's solid. He's good, but he's a young quarterback. You know what I mean? So it is what it is at this point. But I think pretty much this is, what the quarterback room is going to be. Could the Bears carry just two? Yeah, certainly if they need another position, filled up. But I think three quarterbacks is probably the way they go here. All right, moving on to the running back room. We got DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Roschon Johnson, and Travis Homer. Now, Travis Homer not going to see a lot of playing time here, but at the most brutal position in football, you need more depth. So that's why I included him here. We know Herbert, Swift, and Roschon are all locked to make the team, so no real surprise there with Swift being the starter. And I believe Roschon could jump over Herbert as kind of the backup running back later in the year, but certainly all three are locks. And again, I just threw Homer in there. All right, moving on to the fullback position. I just have Kari Blasingame there. He's a very solid fullback. Now it's a dime position, but hey, we still have a fullback that we need on this team. So that is Kari who is going to play that role. Nothing more needs to be said there. All right, moving on to our probably most loaded position, wide receiver. And we have DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, Tyler Scott, Dante Pettis, and Velus Jones Jr. Those are the six that I have making the team. So let's just talk about it. The first three are stone cold locks. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze. Nothing needs to be talked about there. Tyler Scott is also pretty much a lock as well. Going into his second year, I think he's going to play some special teams. And of course, he's a depth piece. So to me, he's actually also a lock as well. So really it comes down to Dante Pettis and Velus Jones Jr. And I think the Bears are going to keep Velus because of his return abilities. So I had him there. And then Dante Pettis, another body for us. And he's a solid depth option for us when we need, a guy going down. But man, we have so many good receivers. Like if we have an injury or two, you're talking about, Keenan and Rome stepping up, or DJ and Rome, or, if Rome Odunze goes down, Tyler Scott stepping up. You get my point, like plenty of depth here. So to me, carrying six receivers here, pretty happy about that. And they're all pretty solid, minus the last two. But hey, let's see what happens. All right, tight end, Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, and Mercedes Lewis. A very strong tight end room here, folks. We're talking about a very solid starter in Cole Kmet. A starter on a lot of teams in Gerald Everett, so one of the better backups in football at the tight end position. And then the best veteran tight end slash coach, if you will, on the field type of tight end in Mercedes Lewis with all his years of experience. So my goodness, like this is an incredibly solid tight end room. Very happy about that. And I'll be able to say that I think all three are locks to make the team. I don't think Mercedes Lewis comes back to not make the team. All right. Offensive line, let's talk about that. So we got the starters that I believe are going to be Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Ryan Bates, Nate Davis, and Darnell Wright. You could argue it could be Coleman Shelton at the center spot. That's another argument for another day. But some combination of those 5. And then I've got the backups being, again, Coleman Shelton. You can flip-flop in with Ryan Bates. Kieran Amigaji, the rookie offensive lineman that we drafted in the 3rd round this year. Ja'Tyre Carter, Larry Borom, and Matt Pryor. So to me, the top 7 are locks, really, with the 5 starters, Coleman Shelton and Kieran Amigaji. I think those guys are all locks. So then we're talking about Ja'Tyre Carter, Larry Borom, and Matt Pryor. Now, Carter and Borom have experience with this team, so they're depth pieces, and you can never have enough offensive linemen. And then Matt Pryor, more of a swing option, if you will, can play multiple positions, so you like the versatility there. So I like to have him on the team as well. Overall, that's what, 3, 6, 9, 10 offensive linemen. So 5 starters, 5 backups. I'm good with that. All right, moving on to the defense. We'll start with the defensive line. DeMarcus Walker, Andrew Billings, Javon Dexter, and Montez Sweat as kind of the starters here. And then the backups, Zach Pickens, Austin Booker, Khalid Kareem, and Dominique Robinson. So as far as the 4 starters, yeah, we could sign maybe a Yannick Ngakoue again at the end of the offseason, replacing DeMarcus Walker. But for right now, I have him. I think Billings is a lock. I think Dexter's a lock. Montez Sweat is, of course, a lock. Pickens, I feel pretty good about as well. Being a lock, Austin Booker, draftee from this year, I think he's going to be a stud. And Khalid Kareem and Dominique Robinson, kind of the question marks here, but I like them as depth pieces, so I included them as well. So not too much there, I think, with the defensive line spot. Maybe those last 2 spots, we'll see if those are up for grabs or if those 2 guys get it. All right, moving on to the linebacker position. TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, Jack Sanborn, Noah Sewell, and Micah Baskerville. I think the top 4 are locks, and then I included Micah Baskerville as the next best option. Cornerbacks, Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, Terrell Smith. I think those 4 are stone cold locks. And then the last 2 I included, Jalen Jones and Josh Blackwell. Played pretty decent in spotty playing time last year, so wanted to go ahead and put some depth there for that position. Arguably our strongest position, our secondary. And continuing with that, in the secondary, you got the safety spot. I have Jaquan Brisker, Kevin Byard as our 2 starters, and then Jonathan Owens and Elijah Hicks as the backup. And then finally, to close it out, special teams, you got your kicker, Cairo Santos, your punter, Torrey Taylor, and your long snapper, and Patrick Scales. All right, so to me, that pretty much rounds out the 53-man roster. So here is the overall 53-man roster, all positions here, and you can count them up, adds up to 53. What do you guys think, man? Like, honestly, the starters pretty much set. It's really just those, end of the bench positions. And even our depth, man, I really like it. Like, our tight end depth, our receiver depth, like our running back depth. Like, we have some good depth at a lot of positions. So I'm very happy about that. Certainly, we can make it 1 or 2 moves here. One of the guys I left out, DeAndre Carter, who we signed, he could potentially make the roster as a receiver or a return man. We'll see. And then, of course, I talked about a late season addition like we did last year with Yannick Ngakoue. We'll see about that. But for the most part, I feel pretty good about this 53-man roster. Let me know what you guys think, man. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this. As always, thanks for watching.